Johnson County was laying the groundwork to formalize its diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging efforts before what a lot of organizations kind of did in reacting to the events of 2020.
After the killing of George Floyd in 2020, the county manager's office went on a listening tour of all of our departments where we listened to what were the experiences of our Black employees, what were the experiences of others, and how can we as an organization help to be a support system to learn from this and just make it a better workplace for all. So from the listening session tour, we formed a new 15-member employee team that's today called the DEIB Advisory Team.
DEIB is this really powerful acronym, right, standing for Voices of Inclusion, Belonging, and Equity. It has that double meaning where we really are trying to encompass the actual definition of the word vibe itself.
You know, when you talk about the vibe of a place or an organization, you're really talking about how it makes you feel when you're there. And this effort is all about making people feel comfortable and welcome and included.
Regarding our culture, the DEIB has helped us with initiatives for employee identification, including identifying yourself as a veteran, including employees having the option to identify themselves as non-binary in our Oracle system, or for preferred pronouns to be able to be used in your employee signature for emails.
So for me, I use she, her, and hers pronouns, so that's in my email signature, so people know what pronouns to use when they're talking to me. It's a pin that you can either put on your backpack, put on your sweater, whatever you're wearing that has pronouns that folks could use. I felt really excited about it. It let me know that Johnson County government is an inclusive place to work. They really value my lived experience as a queer person, really value what I bring to the table, really making me feel welcomed and excited to continue working here at Johnson County Mental Health.
DEIB has been an essential resource, whether it's additional proclamations to recognize cultural events and celebrations, or helping us plan Juneteenth now 2 years in a row and moving forward.
We have a weekly employee e-newsletter, and just about every week we have at least one article, typically written from somebody in the organization, talking about either a cultural event or a holiday or something that they are using their own experience to communicate.
Not just specific to HRC, but
so many people have awareness about our advisory team and think that's where it begins and ends. And really what we're designing is multiple offerings that work for employees. For example, we have a program called Learning Labs, which is essentially a webinar series that talks about different DEIB topics. With Johnson County, I noticed that our workforce really needed something that was relatable around diversity. Not just talking about the hot topics in society, which can be limiting or polarizing in a lot of ways. We really needed to understand how expansive diversity was, and that it's everything from your organizational title to the hours you work, your work conditions, to your recreational habits. Do you have a military background? Or what's your family structure like? What is your belief background? There's a lot of unspoken diversity, invisible diversity that we wanted to bring into the forefront of our discussions. We've, over the last few years, really stepped up in the sense that we're investing more into recruitment platforms.
when I looked at Johnson County, at the positions on Johnson County's careers website, one of the things I started doing was kind of digging into the organization a little bit more. And so I came across the DEIB committee information and saw that here at Johnson County, they don't just talk about support, but they actually have actions that show the support. It was very important to me that I didn't have to edit any pieces of myself when I come to work, that I could be my full self when I am here at work. And that included, things like talking about my family. I don't have to think about the pronouns that I'm using when I refer to my boyfriend. I don't have to think about mentioning the fact that I have a trans sister. I don't want to have to intentionally think about the things that I'm sharing about myself.
As you examine DEIB through the public service lens, it's really evident that we need our employees equipped to serve as inclusively as possible. They need to be prepared for encountering someone from our community with a hearing loss, someone that speaks English as a second language, someone that's on the autism spectrum, someone that's transitioning genders. We need to have those cultural competencies developed so that our service quality does not dip in any way. We have 9 department agencies and offices with their own DEIB teams. So this, of course, will look different across each department, agency, and office. The work that Johnson County Developmental Supports is doing is going to be more focused on individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities. The same with mental health. So mental health has what's they're called EPIC, but they're doing the same thing, looking at their mental health services through that DEIB lens.
We need to continue to build on the initiatives that we have so far because we've got some work to do. But I'm encouraged by the number of volunteers that come forward that want to be a part of leading this effort. Our board has also enhanced their involvement. They also formed a coalition made up of community members that focus on diversity and inclusion.
It's been such a driver for our work that we can come together, share our ideas, share perspectives, learn from one another, and that results in these big impacts, these big solutions. It's just been a wonderful thing to see.